Hey kings and queens, and welcome back to my channel. So before I get into this video, I do want to say as well is that I am going to be changing my uploading schedule. I'm going to be doing 2 videos per week instead of 3 because right now uni is just up my booty, and obviously I'm losing my consistency schedule again, and I really just don't want to fall off the wagon. I just wanted to let you guys know. But yeah, so let's get into the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys 3 pros and 3 cons that kind of like work together or against each other in renting clothes. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe as well, and comment down below if any of these pros and cons were helpful for you. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first pro that I think is the most biggest kind of pro is that you can obviously save with special occasion clothing. So usually you would spend a whole lot of money, especially for like a designer or rare kind of item, but obviously if you're renting it, it's going to be cheaper, it's going to be more low cost, so you can really get something really special for that special occasion. Also, you may be able and more willing to kind of go more out of your comfort zone because you know that you're only going to have this for one time. So usually when you buy something and you know that's only for that special occasion, but you still have to commit to paying for that piece of item, even though you know that you're most probably not going to wear it as much, you might be a little bit reluctant to get something a bit more nice, a bit more fancy, because you're kind of stuck with that item. But if you're renting it, then you know that it's only a one-time thing, you're only using it for this one event, so you might be more willing to, you know, splurge a little bit, and it's also still going to be lower than you actually buying it. However, on the flip side of that, the con is that it's not yours. So if you did find a really nice dress that you really liked, and maybe it was like a really nice designer item, you have to remember that it's not yours. So even if you really love it and you want to keep it, you have to remember that you're renting it. So none of these clothes are going to be yours. I'm not sure if like any renting services like let you actually buy it or anything, but then even then it's going to be a lot of money, so it's not really yours, and you have to kind of know to let that go with the piece of clothing, and that it is only for that one specific time. So you just have to remember that it's not yours and that you're only renting these clothing, so you have to actually give them back in the end. The second pro to renting clothes is obviously sustainability. So obviously renting clothes is a much more sustainable option for wearing clothes, using clothes, buying clothes, and it's becoming a bit more of a popular thing now. It's becoming more aware, more of an option for people, and obviously that is really good. As the whole idea of clothes is to basically get multiple uses out of one piece of clothing. That is pretty much what sustainability is basically all about. It's about getting as much possible uses as possible instead of wearing one thing and throwing it away. So as you're renting, you're only wearing it once, someone else is only wearing it once, but the point is that multiple people are getting this one wear out of this clothing. So the con and the flip side to that is that it can be expensive though in the long run for your more essential and staple items. So when you're thinking about your more essential and staple items, so like your t-shirts or like a blazer or something along those lines, things that you're going to be using more than other types of clothing, it can be not the best option money wise. You're going to be using these items more regularly than any other piece of clothing, so in the long run, you spending that money for the renting service, it's gonna add up, rather than you just spending a one time or like a few times of money on a good quality, keyword quality, key item, or like your basics. It would be cheaper. So my next pro is similar to my first one. You have that more of a ability, a more comfortability to splurge and look around, maybe go out your comfort zone. However, the flip is that these things may not be in stock, or they might run out last minute, or it might be limited, possibly maybe reserved. I don't really know. Some renting services are different than others, so it might be reserved, it might be a limited stock, or it might run out of stock when you need it. So most of the times when you're renting, there's only going to be so much of the things that you need, possibly. Some do more, some do less, but if it is something that there's less of it, then you definitely need to make sure, or try and make sure, that you get it when you need it. You could also relieve any delays, cancellations. If it's getting like sent to you, there might be a delay in it, and it all might just tamper with your event that you're going to. So another pro is that you could possibly, more than likely, avoid impulse buying. So impulse buying is basically when you're just buying on an impulse. So when you're buying and you're just buying to buy, the first thing you see, you like it, you buy it basically. And obviously that is not a good, ethical, sustainable way of shopping. So when you're renting, you actually have that moment to try it on and really actually think about whether you really want to have this item. And if you try it on and you actually like it, then you can go rent it. But if you don't, you can always, most of the time, send it back or give it back, and then you haven't made that impulse buy or that commitment to the item. And the last pro is that you won't have a cluttered wardrobe. So obviously, especially if you're buying everything in the store, you will have a cluttered wardrobe, and most of the time those clothing you most probably don't even need, you most probably don't even wear that much anyway. So renting is another way that you can actually clean out your wardrobe, and your wardrobe might be a bit more efficient, should we say, but it will actually have clothes that you most probably do actually wear. So it will definitely limit down the clean outs that you have to do in your wardrobe, and figure out whether you've worn these items for like less than 3 months, or, and it just removes all of that. So that's the end of the video. Those are some pros and cons of renting clothes. Like I said, it is definitely becoming a thing. It's definitely becoming more of an option for people, especially with sustainability becoming more important and becoming more talked about. So I thought this would be a very informative video for you guys, and I hope it really was. Let me know down below if any of these tips were helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe as well to this channel, and obviously like the video too, and I will see you guys in my next video.